for day 2 of vlogust. I'm gonna do an introduction. So I'm actually gonna start the vlog of like what I eat in a day, that sort of thing, starting tomorrow. That way I can post this one today. So you're going to see this August 2nd, but I'm actually filming August 1st just to confuse everything. What do I have planned for August? For the past couple months, I have been struggling with a few things. I've been struggling with my food addiction increasing. I've been struggling with some fatigue and muscle weakness. I'm working out more. I started working out in March, which was 9 months into keto. So July 1st was my keto-versary. Yay! I talked about that in the video that didn't work. So we'll get back to that. I upped my magnesium and my potassium. I upped my sodium. I started taking fish oil. I've been trying a lot of different things to help that, all the research. And we'll talk about, making sure you are fat adapted, because that can definitely cause some of those issues as well. And I really feel that I am definitely fat adapted. I feel like I have a metabolic flexibility. I can go into ketosis very quickly if something kicks me out, which I haven't had a cheat day in a very long time and we've talked about that before. So anyway, for the month of August, and little backstory there, why I went into that is because I have decided to give paleo a try. Now, it'll probably actually be more like just a higher carb of keto. And the reason I say that, because I have noticed that I can stay in ketosis with more carbs than probably a normal average person. I don't get kicked out of ketosis very easily. Again, I don't eat sugar, I don't eat wheat, and I haven't for a very long time. I haven't had wheat in like 4 years. As far as sticking with keto approved foods, grain, sugars, that sort of thing, I haven't had any of that since July 1st or June 30th, 2017. But I noticed that if I do have a day where I have extra carbs, either in the form of a fat bomb, keto treat type thing, or even if I have just an abundance of vegetables, which is typically what it is, or nuts, actually. We all know I have a nut addiction as far as pecans go. I don't get kicked out of ketosis unless I go way overboard. So, and we can tell that. Number one, I actually bought a Keto Mojo to track that, because I was wondering about the fatigue thing. I was wondering, okay, am I actually in ketosis? Am I riding that line? Because that can definitely cause that. But I'm not. I'm staying in ketosis. I've been in ketosis every day for the past 8 weeks now, solid. And before that, I had gotten kicked out for like less than 12 hours. I am able, even, and that was after like 125 carbs. That was when I went bonkers and had a bunch of cheesecake. Keto cheesecake, by the way. But anyway, so what I want to do for the vlogust is check my ketones. And I'm okay if I go out a little bit. I do want to specify that, because the other side of that, not only am I doing paleo to see if that helps with my performance issues, because I am working out a lot more intense now. I started out in March really light, and I've kind of slowly built up, but I don't want to feel so tired. And I can function and all that stuff, but usually in keto you have lots of energy, and I miss that. I miss that high energy. Now I kind of feel more like about a little bit less than what I had on a standard American diet, which isn't great, right, as far as energy level goes. It's not a big swing, so it's not, like I notice from morning and night it's different or whatever. It's the same basically all the time. So I just sleep good. So I've printed off this lovely little paper here to kind of give me an idea, because the other thing is I want to work on is to stop saying I'm a food addict. I want to get to the point where I don't have to track and I can be at peace with food and not lose control. And I think from what I've researched on that, a lot of that has to do with actually cutting some of your restrictions down. I think there's a lot of mental aspect to that. I am a follower of Jesus Christ, so I do believe in praying and, leaning on Him to help with this. And if you follow the 12 Steps programs, which Overeaters Anonymous has that, they follow some type of religion or spiritual aspect to that. So of course that's going to be a part. But the more physical part is I'm not going to track. I have tracked everything I put in my mouth since about, since September of 2017, because I didn't track when I first started keto. We just did the whole eat until you're satisfied, and which is, I think, really good advice, and that's the advice I usually give people when they first start keto, is I tell them, in fact, don't track at all if you're the kind of person that can just know when you're full and stop eating. I want to be that person. I want to be able to listen to my body. So this is going to be my guide as far as my plate goes. Not going to have honey and maple syrup, which is why I'm kind of like, and I'm still going to have dairy. So even though I'm saying it's paleo, it's actually probably more primal, more going to be just a higher version of keto. I don't plan on going bananas or anything, because I don't like bananas. But anyway, little pun there. So I'm going to try this, and I'm going to try not to track for the month of August, which terrifies me. I'm not going to lie. I'm very nervous about it. I have accepted that because I am willing to go out of ketosis to see what happens. Obviously, when you get kicked out of keto, I know that I very possibly could instantly gain overnight 5 to 7 pounds, which is always a good time. I tend to have big swings anyway, so I can lose weight really fast, but I can also gain it really fast. You kind of got to take the yin with the yang, right? That's just the way it goes. I have to be willing to be okay with that. I am going to check my ketones once a day. I'm going to check them every morning. I'm not going to test them throughout the day. The ketone strips are kind of expensive, and I don't know what benefit that will be. I think if I test every morning like I've been testing, just to get an idea. I do have a blood glucose meter because I was diabetic until I had keto. I may test that more often, especially if I do have more fruit in my diet, to get an idea, because I do want to watch that. I definitely don't want to bring any of that garbage back. I haven't had any issues with my blood sugar, even on the days where I think since I started keto, the highest carb day I've had is about 125 carbs. And that's 125 total carbs. Again, most of my carbs come from nuts and fruit and vegetables. I don't really use a lot of the sugar alcohols. So 125 total carbs for me is probably at most gonna be 80 net carbs. Because again, I just don't spoon in the erythritol. I don't eat xylitol at all. I stay away from mannitol. I stay away from all of those. Therefore, most of my sugars, that my sweetener comes from either sucralose, which I haven't done since the no artificial sweetener challenge with Alma, but I do have the monk fruit for my sweetener, and I will have sucralose on occasion. I don't really drink diet soda anymore. Again, that's not something I'm saying can't have it, but I've just decided it's not something that's good for me. I'm perfectly happy to have tea, which I sweeten with my monk fruit if I need to. I don't always sweeten it. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But that's kind of the plan. So I want to check my ketone meters. I want to not say I'm a food addict. I really want to get that mentality kind of going of, no, I am capable of eating a full meal with good, healthy food. I feel like when I eat food and I eat keto food, it's delicious and it's full of colors, which I love. You know, when I make the zucchini fries with a hamburger with the tomatoes and onion and lettuce, and I mean, it looks appealing. So being able to look at that and eat it, and it just makes me happy inside to eat that. I'm going to work on that. One of the things, so my plan on testing if I'm hungry or not is, first of all, I am going to eat a plate of food, one plate of food, and I may have, you know, my coffee with some MCT oil in it, especially in the morning, because that's pretty typical for me. I may even have some tea in the evening with some MCT oil in it if I need to. But before I do that, I'm going to first wait. I think I'm going to make myself wait 30 minutes before I allow myself to eat more food. And because I think that's reasonable, we want to make sure that we give our bodies time to digest. And I'm a kind of a fast eater, typically. So in keto food, it tastes really good, and so I want to eat it fast. So I want to focus on that. I want to, when I do eat, I want to focus on my food, which means that my YouTube viewing is going to go down, because that's typically when I watch YouTube videos is when I'm eating. So I'll still watch them while I'm cooking, but you're probably going to notice my comments actually are going to probably go down, because I can't really comment as easily while I'm cooking and watching your videos. So that's plan A. The other thing I'm going to do is make sure that I'm drinking plenty of water. I drink a lot of water anyway, and a lot of liquids. I'm just kind of a thirsty person. I tend to drink over a gallon of water every day, which is, again, why I upped my electrolytes a lot. So please don't tell me I need to up my electrolytes. I actually track all that. I'm actually been making sure I hit the 4,700 milligrams of potassium at minimum. I've been hitting my sodium at 5,000 milligrams. I don't feel well if I go a little over that. I'm okay. If I've been sweating a lot, like I'll go up to 7,500 milligrams of sodium on the days I work both jobs and sweating and hot and stuff. But on a typical day, I'm at home. I don't have a need to go that high in sodium. I get 400 to 800 milligrams of magnesium. So again, please don't tell me that my fatigue is due to a lack of electrolytes, because it's not. I promise. It's not. So not. Moving past that. So I'm going to drink some water, a full glass of water, wait another 10 minutes, and then if I'm still hungry, then I am going to try to just have some tea or coffee, depending on the time of day, and I'll put a little MCT oil in it and see if that satiates me, because preferably I would rather do that than start, eating again. But that's kind of the plan as far as that goes. I will still weigh my MCT oil and stuff, probably just because I don't feel like I need to, start eating MCT oil like a crazy person. So I'll probably stick to kind of where I've been with MCT oil or heavy cream, or sometimes a mixture of the both for my coffee. But as far as veggies and stuff, I'm going to eyeball it. I'm going to just put it on there and eat it. I have a pretty good idea at this point anyway what a serving size should be. I'm going to use this as my guide, though, as my plate. So 60% veggies, 30% of the plate should be protein, and then 10% fat, which some of that fat's going to come from the protein, I would imagine. Some of it might come in the way of just butter on my veggies, or olive oil, or sesame seed oil, depending on what we're eating. Because I will still do dairy as well. So it might come in the form of some dairy. So that is day 2 of vlogust. That is the plan, the introduction. I'm going to actually try to film a little bit of the day in the life and put those clips together so you can kind of see what my days look like, and get all of that data in there as well. I'm going to try to remember, but again, it's going to be out of my habit, so I apologize now if I fail at any of this, but I'm going to really try hard to get it right. Alright guys, have a great night. Here's a little clip of my doggo. This is what she does. She's a snuggle bug. Are you a snuggle bug? Her name is Winnie, as you've met her before if you've seen my channel. But yeah, we let our dog sleep on the bed.